Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. Today, giving you an update on the Tacoma, kind of what has been going on with it, what my impression, how I'm liking it still, and then kind of how it's been and some plans for it. I just filmed this video a little bit ago, but I was crying too much, so I'm not going to get into it, but just to let you guys know, I had to put my dog down the other day, so I kind of tried to tell the story on video, but I just kept crying. So if I'm a little sad, that's why. But I gotta still make videos, so we're gonna make this video. I'll tell you guys the whole story of Atreyu in a future video, but it was, long story short, a cancer, and really advanced cancer, and I didn't know about it until it was too late. But anyway, pour one out for Atreyu. It was the saddest day of my life. I'll tell you more later when I'm in a better state of mind, maybe. But if I don't think about it, I'm good. If I don't think about it, I'm good. So we're just gonna get into the video here. May have been an awkward transition, I know, but so the Tacoma 2024 Tacoma TRD off-road, the wide angle kind of makes this setup look crazy, but it's kind of a somewhat standard over the cab rack with a rooftop tent. Actually, what's kind of stemming all of this, some of the recent additions and whatnot, is a company, Vision Creative. Thanks, Griffin, if you're watching this. Vision Creative, a production company that does rad stuff. They have a moto crane on a crazy long travel Bronco and drone. You know, they do everything. Kind of a lot of motor sports, and they do other stuff, but a lot of like motorsports, high speed production. They came out, I had them out for a commercial shoot with upTOP to make some creatives for us for ad usage and kind of brand hero image and whatnot. So I quickly, in a day, kind of got the Tacoma dialed and ready to go. We also loaded up my Tundra, the LX. We took the upTOP truck out, and then Twan from Running for Tacos, his truck actually has full upTOP kit on it, so he brought his truck out. And then the whole 5-man crew from California came out, and we went out and we went camping actually, and it was snowing and cold and made for some awesome footage that I'll show you guys in some upcoming videos. Anyway, took the Tacoma out, Tundra, LX, and this video I was gonna try and make a weekender lander of it, but I just didn't film enough. So I'm gonna do a gear breakdown because I basically brought a couple other guys out to drive my other vehicles, and then brought a bunch of gear out for them to stay warm. And I want to tell you about all that gear because winter camping is coming, and it's kind of just a good segue into kind of some of the stuff that I like to use to make winter camping just a little more enjoyable. So that's a separate video I'll upload after this or before this or in the next couple videos. I'm not really sure the order yet. But I figured I should just do an update on Tacoma, because I told you I would try to give you more frequent updates as we went. So the last video, I think it was just 37 by 1250 Toyo Open Country MTs, chunky chunks, and pretty good offset, Relations race wheels, 17-inch bead locks that we powder coated gold. If you're interested in that setup and the trimming and whatnot I had to do to run 37s with no lift, I did an entire video about that on the channel. And then I just had the Diamondback and then the low crossbars here. Actually, I forgot about that. This is the jalapeno. I started eating this before I was filming. If I could just live off of these beef sticks, I think I could. They're just easy, no mess. I love them. Could kill a whole pack every day, honestly. I had the original ones. This one is the jalapeno, the medium jalapeno. I'm gonna eat a little bit like Brad Pitt here while I continue on. I was working on the chicken coop all day, ADD kicking in, and didn't really eat much, so I've actually eaten a few of those now. So now we put on the full height bed rack. This wide angle lens kind of makes it look weird, but it's like, you know, relatively standard setup. Out of curiosity, I measured to the top of the tent. That's Freespirit Recreation Evolution V2 regular. So ground to top of that is 7 foot 3 inches right now, as it sits with no lift. And so what we did here, we have this custom, not custom, we sell this. upTOP Overland sells a bracket, a no drill bracket that allows you to mount all of our bed racks on a Diamondback. I wanted things in a little bit more than standard, so we made a custom bracket that brought this in another 2 inches because I wanted to mount this case. So I was kind of like playing around with some ideas. This is a Pelican V800 Vault case that I wanted to mount on the side just because it was like a perfect fit. And then I would have all this room to put stuff in. I'll get back to that in a second. And then on the other side, I just mounted a Agency 6 shovel. The mounting bracket holes actually line up perfectly by chance with the holes on the leg of the rack. And then a Max Trax over here. And I have a little space right here. I think I'm gonna do a 1 gallon Rotopax right there, actually. But anyway, that brings, this is the full height rack, brings it the perfect amount. It's kind of hard to see because it's not bright back there. See if we can see over here. Yeah, so the perfect amount above, just about a 1/2 inch higher than the Kilo. So this is the upTOP Kilo roof rack, the favorite rack that we make, 100% made in America, aluminum, stainless steel, super low profile, so quiet, just beautiful. Like nice little forms on the edge, intentionally designed for the scene lights and the handles. And anyway, that's the setup there. Now I'll talk a little bit about why, because I've never had a full height rack setup before, and I wanted to try something new for reasons. But I want to get some ideas from you guys on what to put in here. I'll talk about a few thoughts that I have, but I'd love to hear from you on this case. It's just an empty case, well, almost empty case right here. So let's talk about this. You saw me eating this earlier, but I've been kind of digging into both boxes. These are Chomps. Stoked on this one, actually. Chomps is the sponsor of today's video. Maybe they'll sponsor more videos in the future, because if I could just get a lifetime supply of Chomps, I would. I've had these before the sponsor. Actually, I first got them. Ashley bought them for me. This is gonna be probably a longer sponsored spot than I'm required to do, just because I ramble and kind of work them in. Ashley bought me some of these years ago for stocking stuffer for Christmas, and I've kind of liked them ever since, honestly. Anyway, they reached out, wanted to sponsor a video, and I was like, yes, I love your stuff. So Chomps maybe sponsor some more videos. But anyway, if you guys don't know about Chomps, they're beef sticks, you know? These guys here. But the nice thing about them is all of these have over 10 grams of protein and about 100 calories, 0 grams of sugar. So as far as snacking is concerned, probably one of the best snacks out there. Delicious, nutritious, no sugar, and all of the beef used in these is grass-fed and finished. So it's awesome, really great snack. Great for being out on the road, great for working on stuff because it's no mess. You're not like dropping crumbs in your car as you're driving. You get that protein in for the gains. Actually, I'll just show it on screen and you can read it while I talk. Honestly, and delicious. Kind of good for vehicle, like to keep some in the vehicle because they're not gonna melt on you or anything like that. So awesome snack. You can go, I think I'll put it down below. I think it's chomps.com/LLOD to find out more. Order online, or they're available at like 20,000 plus stores. So you could probably drive right now and have a pack within 5 minutes if you'd like to try them out. But great for on-the-go snacks, and yeah, just super stoked to have them sponsoring this video because I'm a big fan. I think we should, like, if I go to an Overland Expo, I actually got an event in California coming up next month. We should just fill this whole Pelican case with Chomps and I give them out to people, but I don't know if we'll get to do that or not. But thank you to Chomps for sponsoring this video. Now we'll just kind of get back into it. So loading out the gear on the rack is awesome. And then this kind of tiered setup, a lot of people have asked me, why don't I have a cap? It's a good question. I do like caps. I like the idea of caps. I've never actually tried a cap. There are certainly some pros and cons to some caps, especially the ones that you can kind of mount stuff external on. I'm sure I'll have one before too long because I want to try one out. But the thing that's nice about this setup here is obviously all the gear mounted here. You could put bins or bags, that like big waterproof bag that I love, or firewood bins or whatever on the top, and kind of have a two-tiered system. And then you have stuff in the bed that's more weatherproofed. So it's kind of like you have a shelf. And then I also love when I'm camping and have this shelf to put stuff on. So I have kind of the workbench here, cooking or whatever. I kind of need one of those tailgate covers, and then a bunch of stuff up here. And then this is the part where originally I was thinking maybe I'll put that and it'll be kind of like a table here. But I'm thinking what I may do is make a system where this can drop down. It's just kind of resting on the side right now. And then inside build something custom here that's like maybe a table, kind of a molly panel, and have some stuff held to it. But then this thing will actually fold down and make a lower table from the insert that I put in here. So I'll have to kind of design and make that. Luckily I could cut all that out and bend it at upTOP. And if I love it and I'm happy with it, maybe I'll do like a limited batch and sell it to you guys. But yeah, I'm thinking a little panel in there, then I can kind of molly some stuff too in the lid, have this whole thing with either a bunch of little storage bags or bins, or kind of foam inserts. I could have my whiskey bottles here or whatever, or the Chomps, and then that'll fold down. And you can see will be a little bit higher than the tailgate, but this would be a usable height. And I think I kind of want to do that. A lot of people are asking me how I mounted this. I actually just hard mounted it into here because we were in a hurry. But I bet if I really wanted to make it kind of removable, I could use even the Pelican. They sell handle mounts here. And this lines up almost perfectly on the Diamondback anyway, on the Diamondback short bed Tacoma, to where these handles, I could probably do a handle mount and actually make this removable. But for now, I just solid mounted that to the legs because I have no intention to remove those. But that was kind of something I thought was kind of cool. And yeah, I got to kind of flesh out exactly how I want to build that out though. So that's kind of what's going on up here. I'll probably add like folding table mount and some other stuff here too. We make a cheapy folding table mount where it can mount up here and out of the way. And then we have the FSR Evo. So this is not the XL, so it's kind of the narrow one. You can see the width compared to the Tacoma. And the XL is nicer, roomier inside, obviously, but for kind of a smaller truck, it is definitely big. It kind of mushroom tops out at the top. And I didn't want to go too big because this is part of the reason I wanted to go high here. FSR also makes a 270 awning that attaches, well, you can mount it on the rack, but it makes one that attaches to the tent itself. And then, so that'll open up and kind of cover the tailgate, and then it'll also kind of cover this table I'm gonna put here. So part of the reason I wanted to go high was to do run a longer tent without as much overhang on a short bed. So these just easy setup hard shell tents, and then also run an awning. So I'm basically gonna do those two things on this tent here, because I've never done it before. Now I do have the room here, and I thought about running a wedge, like an aspen, opening it this way and then having a deck here, but then I was like, I'll probably never really. That would be like for Instagram photos. I probably would never really use it. So I'll probably just either leave the rack open or maybe hard mount some cases up there, since I have quite a bit of room there. And then, yeah, 270 awning around. So that'll be pretty awesome, I think, because then I'll finally have tailgate coverage. I think I'll do a 270. FSR also actually just released like a tailgater one that kind of is a small 180. That's the width of that, I believe. And then it just kind of provides tailgate coverage. So it's either that or I'll do the 270, but I'm kind of leaning 270. Anyway, yeah, so upTOP bed rack. I also did a little non-standard configuration here. So normally we sell the Diamondback with a 4-leg system, and it just used the existing cleats, so you don't have to drill anything. I wanted to try out doing our standard, normally do a 3-leg for an open bed or a soft topper or like a retract system. So I just drilled holes. We did the standard 3-leg, full height. So this isn't really a kit that we sell, because then with the armor panel on here, you can't open the cover anymore. So with our normal one, you can kind of open it. This one, it's locked down, but it will be locked down obviously if you have the tent on it, no matter what. So I'm just kind of locking this system down with the 3-leg. Again, full height on the Diamondback is like perfect height for the Kilo roof rack, which, gosh, this is just, the Kilo is by far, and I mean, yes, I'm biased because I'm part owner of upTOP, but even if I wasn't, I think the Kilo is just the best looking rack for the 4th gen Tacomas by a fair margin. It is just such a slick rack. But then also, I've got a lot of questions about how this has been working. It was actually very controversial, putting 37s on the truck with no lift. Again, I have a lift kit. I'm gonna lift it. I'm gonna put armor. I'm gonna do a lot of other stuff. But before I did that, I was just kind of curious, can you fit 37s with no lift? And I've like taken this, not real off-roading. We're on a trail. It's more of a dirt road than anything. But it's relatively functional. Again, I am gonna lift it. If I'm thinking about having upTOP make a body mount chop kit. I don't think anyone makes them for the 4th gen Tacomas yet, because maybe nobody wants to cut up these trucks, but everyone cut up the 3rd gens, right? It's just like came with territory. If you did a body mount chop on this, you could very realistically run 37s, no lift, no rub. Perry parts, actually there's not in the front. I'll have to figure out front bump stops, because there's no factory bump stops in the front. I haven't really looked into it, but there's none in there. Perry did send me some extended bump stops for the rear. But anyway, with a body mount chop, you could legitimately run 37s with no lift. Now I'm gonna add a bunch of weight and junk to this, and I want a little more travel. So I'm gonna put a Icon kit on here. I'll probably be doing that next week or the week after. So I'll give you updates on that. But the update on no lift 37s is actually surprisingly good. It does rub, for sure, like especially off-road, but does much better than I thought it would. And then just the drive, the ride quality and how it drives and everything is not bad on 37s, really. Like power is there. This is the hybrid. So that's been fantastic. I'm trying to think of anything else since last video. Oh yeah, so I put the upTOP bed stiffeners in here. somewhat to have more tie down points, more places to tie stuff to. What I also have in here is a last fit, LAS fit bed liner. So this is super slippery because I don't have the bed spray in here. So now this is kind of a rubberized, textured material. Last fit liners. And this thing fits great. Talking about it now, I had to make some modifications. Now I could have installed this without doing any cutouts, but I cut it out here. Sorry, wants to focus on my hand. Cut it out here so that I could still remove this liner if I needed to really clean it out or something. So this is removable. I cut a little bit to make it fit with the bed stiffeners, and that's been great, honestly. Keeps kind of, I mean, it protects the bed, obviously, but keeps stuff from sliding around as much, and then, you know, kind of keeps things clean, but that gets dirty, but it can be washed out. Now, they just came out with the floor liners that fit the hybrid. What I didn't know is the hybrid actually has a bigger bump there than the non-hybrid. So now the last fit, they sent this all out to me. I don't know if I have an affiliate link. I might. If I do, I'll put it down below. Appreciate you using it. But I've used WeatherTech and Huskies and everything, and there's a bunch of good options. I've never used these guys, so I saw them a bunch on social media. You know, I think they're sending them out to quite a few people, but I was kind of curious, so they sent these out, and I actually really like them. Like, the fit is really good. The ridges are pretty aggressive and high, so it can kind of capture a lot of mud and stuff. And I feel like it has more coverage than any other of the mats. It kind of goes a little deeper in there. So anyway, there is a difference between the hybrid and the non-hybrid with the humps. So you got to get the hybrid ones, which I think just came out because they just delivered those to me. And then it locks into all the factory locations. Actually, I haven't seen this before either. It locks in and then has a little cover. Sorry, I just popped it out. So it has a little cover to even cover the little parts there. So it actually cleans up the look even more. Anyway, again, coverage really nice on these. Kind of comes back up over here. A lot of coverage on the side, and that's great. I need to put a new Dark Angel med kit in there. But I think that's the only other thing in here. I need to put a dash cam in and need to do a bunch of electrical work and a bunch of other stuff. But these liners, I mean, I've been, you know, I was kind of like, are they going to be any better than Huskies or WeatherTechs? And I don't know, they just feel thicker. The bottom little spikes are very aggressive, and the fit is just perfect. So anyway, I haven't had them for that long, but been really happy with those. And I think that's the only thing I added on the interior. So I think that about wraps it up. What's coming soon is probably bumpers, sliders, skids, suspension, and then some electrical work. So that'll be, I'll break that into another video or two, but again, just kind of wanted to keep you updated as the journey continues. This stuff will probably change and evolve just a little bit. Again, we installed all this stuff in basically a day for that shoot. And then yeah, I'll fill you in more on the shoot, and then I actually ran out of light, so I'll have to film this other video tomorrow. Too much crying over my stupid dog that had to die. I love that dog. He's like my soul dog, really. Just I've never been more depressed, more sad. I loved Atreyu. He was such a good dog. I'll tell you more about that later if I remember. But anyway, yeah. Wish him well. He was a great dog. He went out, as far as the vet told me, pretty much painlessly and quickly, and so that that's good. I didn't drag on his misery or his suffering just so I could have some more time with him. But I miss him. I miss that dog. Anyway, so that's the truck. 4th gen 2024 Tacoma TRD Off-Road Hybrid 37s, no lift, racks and everything. We're adding a little bit more weight, so it's really, suspension is becoming more and more important. Actually, before I go, this is, we're launching this. Might be launched already, but this is the upTOP. We're calling it the Workhorse. So we designed this as kind of a ladder rack here. So it has an optional overhang on the front. It'll be the most modular kind of ladder work rack out there, 100% made in America by us. This is actually an early prototype that I was just beating on and kind of testing some different configurations. But basically, this will be adjustable for height, so you can dial in the height of your rack system. The width is adjustable, so this rack will fit on different lengths, different widths, and then you can also extend the bars out if you want. We actually ran L-track along the whole top of this thing. Sorry, it's a little dark in my barn as well. So L-track comes on the full kind of ladder rack overhang portion, so you can do all kinds of stuff with that. And then we launched these Milwaukee pack out mounts that you can kind of configure. You can put as many on, you can put them wherever. So if you have a toolbox or whatever up front, you could still access them. We also have these MOLLE panels for other accessories, but you could do pack outs on the outside, pack outs on the inside. These will be lockable as well. Put those on and off, again, as many as you want. So that's something I'm really excited about. We're kind of gonna offer a full ecosystem of more tradesman, contractor type accessories. But I think this should launch. Either it just launched or it'll launch like tomorrow. So if you're looking for a ladder rack that is just definitely the best looking ladder rack on the market, and super, super modular, never rusts. It's all made out of stainless and aluminum, so bars won't rust. You know, if you scratch through the powder coating or whatever, it won't rust. We're actually gonna make it modular as well, to where you could do kind of a double-decker system and put a second set of low bars here, so you could do like tools and saws, and then maybe, you know, drywall or plywood here, and then like ladders on top. So it'll be definitely the best rack available for kind of the contractor truck world. So this is a project I've been thinking about and working on that we have finally brought to market. We kind of use some of our DNA for our normal bed racks. We kind of have a lot of that stuff dialed in and transferred it to the world of contractors. So yeah, that's cool. We're also running, upTOP's running sale, Black Friday sale, 15% off. Use code GEARUP at checkout, so you can get kitted out with the Kilo, which is honestly the best roof rack. We don't make it for every vehicle, obviously, but for every vehicle we make, the Kilo, that is the way to go. So yeah, appreciate you watching, and I'll keep you updated. And yeah, got a bunch of other videos in the works and coming up. So appreciate your comments. Let me know what you want to see, and thumbs up, get subscribed, all that stuff. Really appreciate you guys, and appreciate all the kind words in that previous video I did about how I kind of got to where I am. I wasn't really expecting so many uplifting comments and stuff there. So I loved reading them. Really appreciate you guys. So thanks for that. And yeah, love you. Go hug and kiss your dog and give him extra belly rubs and treats, because you never know. All right, take it easy.